In the martial arts, blue signifies the sky as the plant continues to grow. The student is fed additional knowledge of the art in order for his body and mind to continue to grow and develop. Animation is a great way to focus on important points, to control the flow of information, and to increase viewer interest in your video. In this lesson, we'll discuss tips and tricks for adding animations to your PowerPoint video. In PowerPoint, you can apply animation effects to just about any text or object on any individual frame. There are 4 different kinds of animation effects in PowerPoint 2010: entrance, exit, emphasis, and motion paths. Here are just some examples of what you can do with these animation effects. With entrance effects, you can make an object fade gradually into focus, fly into the frame from an edge, or even bounce into view. Exit effects can make an object fly off, disappear from view, or spiral off the frame. Emphasis effects can add a dynamic element to an object by making it pulse, grow or shrink in size, or even spin on its center. Motion paths can be used to make an object move up or down, left or right, or in a particular pattern. To add an animation effect to an object, select the object that you want to animate. On the Animations tab, click the slide bar in the animation table and then select the animation effect that you want to use. If you don't see the entrance, exit, emphasis, or motion path animation that you want, click on the corresponding More Effects menu for additional effects. After you've applied an animation to an object or text, the animation items are labeled on the slide with a numbered tag displayed near the text or object. The tag appears only in the normal view when the Animations tab is selected or the Animation Task pane is visible. They will not appear in the final video. The Animation Task pane is the timeline for your frame. It shows all the animations you have added to that particular frame, as well as information such as their duration and sequence. Right-clicking on an object in the task pane will open a menu of useful effects and animation triggers. To become proficient in PowerPoint animations, spend some time getting to know the items in this menu, especially the Animation Effects menu. The animation pane timeline sliders are very useful when you want to manually align your animation to coincide with a particular sound or narration. When creating a video, the motion paths are a useful animation series found in PowerPoint. PowerPoint has many predetermined paths, and you also have the ability to create your own custom path. Once you add a motion path, it's like any other animation. You can easily change the settings in the animation pane. There you can determine when the animation is triggered, how fast you want it, and the animation's timing. There are a few things to keep in mind when you're working with motion paths. The motion path start and stop points are always centered on the object. You can click and drag the motion path to where you want it to stop or end. The object's motion will start at the beginning of the motion path, regardless of whether or not the object is on or off the frame. You can also right-click on the motion path to edit its points. Sometimes, working with motion paths can be challenging. In many cases, it's not always easy to align the end point of one object to the start point of another. For example, on frame 1, you may want an image to move from one side of the screen to the other. Then, in frame 2, you may want to start with that same image, but in its new position. Unfortunately, PowerPoint does not show where the image in the motion path animation will end. There is a simple PowerPoint add-in that makes finding the endpoint easy and working with motion paths a lot simpler. This PowerPoint add-in for motion paths allows you to add a duplicate object at the end of the animation. We highly recommend that you download this PowerPoint add-in and install it into your PowerPoint add-in library. Once you have installed the add-in, simply click on the object with the motion path animation, then go to the Tools tab. Go to the Motion Path Tools menu and click End Position. You will now see that you have a duplicate image in the exact same spot where your original motion path ended. You can now copy and paste this image onto your next frame to start your next animation sequence. This motion path tool is also handy for joining multiple motion paths into one seamless animation sequence. Animations can be used by themselves, or multiple effects can be combined to create interesting visuals. For instance, you can make an object fly in from the left while it grows in size by applying a fly-in entrance effect and a grow-shrink emphasis effect to it. To apply multiple animations onto the same object, select the text or object that you want to add multiple animations to. On the Animations tab, in the Advanced Animation group, click Add Animation. In the Timing group, there are several tools you can use to start the timing of animation effects. With Start on Click, the animation begins when you click the mouse. With Start with Previous, the animation effect starts playing at the same time as the previous effect in the list. This setting is used to combine and overlap multiple effects at the same time. With Start After Previous, the animation effect begins immediately after the previous effect in the list finishes playing. You can also set the duration and any delay of the animation in the Timing group menu. After you add one or more animation effects, it's always wise to test the animation to validate that it's working the way you want it to. On the Animations tab, in the Preview group, click Preview.